As we navigate through life, we accumulate not only memories and experiences but also relationships, connections that shape who we are. Now, picture yourself entering the golden years of your life. Wouldn't you want those years to be filled with peace, joy, and contentment? Have you ever wondered why some elderly people seem to enjoy these peaceful and happy golden years, while others find themselves restless and burdened? The answer may lie not in what they have, but in who they choose to keep by their side. In today's video, we will reveal the 7 types of people you should avoid to maintain peace and happiness in your old age. And it's not just about identifying these people, we will also discuss how you can handle them effectively, with practical examples that you can relate to. As we go through each type, I invite you to reflect on your own relationships. Stick with us to the end, because the 7th type will surprise you the most. Let's start with number 1, the chronic complainer. We all know this person. They're the ones who, no matter the situation, always manage to find something wrong. Picture yourself sitting on a park bench, enjoying a bright, sunny day. The sky is clear, the flowers are in full bloom, and you can hear the birds chirping. You take a deep breath, feeling relaxed until your friend, the chronic complainer, sits beside you. They immediately sigh and say, "Oh, it's too hot today. And just look at the crowd, how can anyone relax here?" Suddenly, the peace you were enjoying starts to fade. You've been pulled out of your peaceful moment and thrust into their world of negativity. Chronic complainers have a unique way of casting a shadow on everything. And the problem is that negativity spreads like wildfire. According to a study published in the Journal of Gerontology, people who are constantly exposed to negativity are 30% more likely to develop anxiety and depression, particularly in their older years. Chronic complainers essentially weaken your emotional immune system. So, how do you protect yourself? Imagine an umbrella of positivity, a mental shield that helps deflect the negativity from reaching your inner peace. Visualize this: when the chronic complainer begins their tirade, you open your invisible umbrella and deflect every complaint, keeping your peace intact. But here's the catch: this isn't about ignoring real issues, it's about choosing how you respond. The ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The chronic complainer sees every situation through a dark lens. When they say, "The weather is terrible today," you could respond, "It may be a bit warm, but isn't it wonderful to feel the sunshine?" By gently challenging their negativity, you invite them to see things differently. But not everyone is willing to change. And that's okay. What's important is that you don't let their negativity consume you. After all, research shows that older adults who surround themselves with positivity tend to have greater overall well-being. Moving on to number 2, the unstoppable gossip. Gossip might seem harmless at first, after all. Isn't it just a form of social interaction? But when you dig deeper, the consequences are far more damaging, especially as we get older. Gossip is like a wildfire. It spreads rapidly and leaves destruction in its wake. Imagine being at a reunion with your lifelong friends. You're reminiscing about old times when, suddenly, someone begins to share an embarrassing story about someone who isn't even there. It could be about their recent struggles, or perhaps an intimate detail they wouldn't want shared. Suddenly, The warm atmosphere becomes cold, uncomfortable. You may even find yourself wondering, if they're talking about this person now, are they also talking about me when I'm not around? Gossip erodes trust. Social psychologist Nicholas DeFonso explains that gossip can serve as a form of social control but often comes at a high cost. It erodes not only the reputation of others but also the integrity of the gossiper and the listener. It leaves everyone involved a little more mistrustful and a little less connected. But why do some people love to gossip? It often stems from an internal void and need to feel relevant by focusing on the shortcomings of others, rather than fostering genuine connections. They focus on tearing others down. Socrates, the great philosopher, had a brilliant method to filter information before passing it on. It's called the triple filter test. Before sharing anything, ask yourself 3 questions. Is it true? Is it good? Is it useful? If it doesn't pass at least 2 of these filters, it's better left unsaid. Imagine how much more peaceful our social interactions would be if we all applied this simple test. Here's how to handle an unstoppable gossip. First, set clear boundaries. If someone starts sharing private information, tell them kindly that you'd prefer not to hear it. Second, change the subject. Move the conversation towards something positive, like a recent achievement or a funny story. Third, lead by example. Share positive stories rather than rumors. As Mother Teresa once said, kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless. Let's be the ones whose words bring joy, trust, and light to others. If you have a friend who insists on gossiping despite your efforts, remember this: you have the power to limit your interactions with them. Your peace of mind is worth more than accommodating someone else's unhealthy habit. Now, let's discuss the 3rd type of person you should avoid: the manipulator. These individuals are often emotional illusionists, skilled at making you believe that their problems are yours, and their desires should be your priority. They make you feel guilty for wanting anything other than what they need. Imagine this scenario: you're at a family gathering, and your nephew, eyes glistening with tears, asks for a loan. It's for something urgent, he says. He implies that if you really love him, you'll help without hesitation. Suddenly, you find yourself in a dilemma. If you say yes, you might be compromising your own needs. If you say no, you feel immense guilt. This is manipulation in its purest form, leveraging emotions to get what they want, regardless of how it affects you. Manipulators often play the victim card to make you feel that you are the only one who can solve their problems. They exploit your love and kindness for their benefit. But why are the elderly particularly vulnerable to manipulators? Studies show that as we grow older, social isolation can make us more susceptible to manipulation. We may want to feel needed, valued, or just appreciated, which creates an opening for someone with manipulative tendencies. To deal with manipulators, you need a powerful tool: the shield of authenticity. This shield is built on 3 components: self-awareness, assertiveness, and external validation. Start by understanding your own values and boundaries. Know what you are willing to give and where you draw the line. Second, learn to say no without guilt. It's one of the most powerful words in the English language. Remember, when you say no to others, you are saying yes to yourself. Author and researcher Brené Brown has said, "Choosing discomfort over resentment is one of the bravest choices you can make." And finally, seek external validation from trusted friends or family members. Manipulators thrive in secrecy, but by discussing the situation with someone you trust, you can get an objective perspective that helps you make better decisions. Use what's called the reciprocity test. Ask yourself whether the person respects your needs as much as they expect you to respect theirs. If the answer is no, it might be time to reevaluate that relationship. Next, we have the obsessive controller, number 4 on our list. The obsessive controller is that person who tries to micromanage every aspect of your life. They might genuinely believe they're helping, but in reality, they're stifling your independence. Imagine being an orchestra conductor, with your friends and family as musicians. The obsessive controller doesn't just want to direct the tempo, they want to dictate every note each musician plays, every breath they take. They believe they're creating a flawless symphony, but all they're doing is turning music into monotony. Psychologist John Gottman, known for his groundbreaking research on relationships, points out that excessive control is a major source of conflict. His studies suggest that relationships based on control rather than trust are much more likely to fail. In old age, this controlling behavior can rob you of autonomy and make you feel powerless. Think of a time when someone made decisions for you without asking for your opinion. How did it make you feel? Did you feel valued? Or did you feel like your voice had been silenced? The key to dealing with obsessive controllers is cultivating trust and setting boundaries. You can start by expressing appreciation for their care, but also clearly stating that you need your own space to make decisions. Tell them, "I appreciate your support, but I need to try doing this my way. I promise I will reach out if I need help." Epictetus once wisely said, "Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle: some things are within our control, and some things are not." Remind the obsessive controller that allowing freedom doesn't mean letting go of care, it means giving room for growth. Relationships flourish when they're built on mutual respect and trust. The more trust you can cultivate, the more genuine your relationships will become. And the more freedom you give others, the more they will respect the autonomy you seek. Coming in at number 5 is the attention seeker. Have you ever met someone who always manages to turn the conversation back to themselves? No matter what the topic, they find a way to make it about them. Picture yourself at a gathering with old friends. Everyone is sharing their stories. One person talks about their recent travels. Another shares a funny incident at a family gathering. And then there's the attention seeker. They immediately hijack the conversation, monopolizing the entire discussion with their own stories, often embellishing the details to outshine everyone else. This behavior not only diminishes the experiences of others, but it also leaves people feeling disconnected. Psychologist Dr. Ramani Durvasula calls these individuals conversational narcissists. They seek validation through constant attention and often fail to notice how they make others feel. Studies show that reciprocal relationships, where both parties feel heard and valued, are key to maintaining emotional health in old age. If your relationships lack reciprocity, it can lead to loneliness even if you're surrounded by people. So, how do we deal with an attention seeker? First, set boundaries. You could gently interrupt them, saying, "That's interesting. I'd also like to share my experience." This makes it clear that the conversation is a two-way street. Second, Redirect the conversation by asking questions to other participants, ensuring everyone gets a chance to speak. Also, consider arranging group activities where the attention seeker won't be able to dominate. And lastly, it's okay to limit your interactions. Your time is valuable. And if someone consistently leaves you feeling unheard, you have every right to step back. Remember, we all deserve to be heard and valued. As Epictetus said, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. In our golden years, let's choose relationships that allow for true connection, where we listen and are listened to. Number 6 on our list is the opportunist. Opportunistic relationships can feel like an emotional roller coaster. The opportunist is the person who only shows up when things are good. When you're thriving, they're there to enjoy the ride. But when you're struggling, they're nowhere to be found. Imagine you're hosting a celebration, a milestone birthday. For example, your opportunistic friend shows up, bringing gifts, laughter, and enthusiasm. They enjoy the food, the drinks, the music. But fast forward to a few months later, you're going through a tough time and need support. You call, but they're too busy. Suddenly, their laughter and enthusiasm seem distant. These people are like sunshine friends, they're only there for the good weather. When the clouds roll in, they disappear. Aristotle warned about friendships based on utility, which vanish the moment one party is no longer useful to the other. But here's the thing, at this stage of our lives, we need relationships that are authentic and dependable, friendships that provide comfort during storms, not just during celebrations. To recognize opportunists, pay attention to patterns. Do they only reach out when they need something? Is the relationship one-sided? It's important to evaluate whether you feel nourished or drained after interactions. William James once said, "The art of being wise is knowing what to overlook." Maybe wisdom lies in knowing which relationships to let go of when they don't serve your well-being. This isn't about becoming cynical. It's about cultivating genuine relationships with those who care about us in all seasons, rain or shine. True friends stand by us when times are tough. Ralph Waldo Emerson put it beautifully, "The only way to have a friend is to be one." Cultivate loyalty, authenticity, and commitment in yourself, and you will naturally attract the same in others. Finally, number 7, the secret envious. This person may be the most challenging to identify because they often hide behind the mask of friendship. They may smile. They may congratulate you. But beneath the surface lies envy, resentment towards your achievements. Imagine you've recently received some good news, maybe your granddaughter graduated top of her class. Or you've been recognized for your contributions to your community. Your friend, let's call her Nancy, congratulates you. But something doesn't feel right. There's a tightness to her smile, and she quickly changes the subject. Envy is often a reflection of someone's own insecurities and their perception that they lack something you have. Social psychologist Leon Festinger explains that the envious person measures their self-worth by comparing themselves to others. This comparison leads them to feel threatened by your success. The secret envious may attempt to downplay your achievements or subtly make you feel undeserving. It's their way of coping with their own insecurities. But the effect on you can be disheartening. How do you protect yourself from this type of relationship? First, remember that their envy is not about you, it's about them. Bertrand Russell said, "Envy is one of the most universal and unfortunate aspects of human nature. Understanding this can help you feel compassion rather than resentment." Second, limit the amount of personal information you share with them. If you sense envy, it might be best to keep certain achievements or joys to yourself or share them only with those you trust wholeheartedly. And lastly, focus on strengthening your self-esteem. The more secure you are in your own worth, the less others' envy will affect you. Celebrate your achievements, big or small, without needing external validation. As the Dalai Lama said, "Be kind whenever possible. It is always possible." Show kindness, even to those who struggle with envy. But remember to protect your own happiness first. As we journey through life, the people we surround ourselves with can make all the difference to our happiness and peace. In your golden years, you deserve relationships that nourish your soul, inspire you, and help you grow. Letting go of toxic people is not about creating enemies, it's about making room for better connections. You deserve relationships built on respect, love, and trust. Avoid the chronic complainers, the gossips, the manipulators, the controllers, the attention seekers, the opportunists, and the envious. In doing so, you make space for genuine friendships that elevate your spirit and bring true joy. Remember, we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Choose wisely. Protect your peace. Surround yourself with positivity. And choose relationships that are genuine, loving, and meaningful. In doing so, you create an old age filled with laughter, love, and endless growth. If you've made it this far, write in the comments, "I choose peace." I want to see who among us has decided to take control of their happiness. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future content. And share this video with your loved ones, they deserve to live peacefully too. Until next time, keep your spirit light, keep your heart open, and remember, you are in control of your golden years.